Hello friends, in this session we are going to discuss about stack using array concept. So you know that stack is a non-primitive data structure, and it is a non-primitive data structure in which we can perform insertion and deletion operation from only one end, and that end is called as top of stack. So this stack can be implemented by using two methods. First method is static implementation, and in that we can implement stack using array concept. And the second method is dynamic implementation. So in that we can implement stack using linked list data structure. So static implementation of stack is also called as compile time implementation, and dynamic implementation is also called as runtime implementation. So here in this video our focus is on static implementation. So let us start with the demonstration of stack using array. Okay, so I'm going to write the C program for stack using array. So let us start. So I am declaring first header files. Right now I am declaring only the stdio.h header file, because I am going to use printf and scanf, these two functions from this stdio.h header file, and this is main function. So you know that main function is entry point for any C program. Now I'm going to perform three operations on stack, that is push, pop and traverse. So let us declare those functions. So I'm declaring first push function, then next one is pop function. So you know that push function is a operation, push is one of the operation that we can perform on stack, in which we are inserting the element into the stack. Pop is nothing but it is a deletion of element from the stack, and traverse is nothing but displaying the content of stack. So these will be three operations we are going to perform on stack. So that's why I have declared three functions, and these will be function definitions for these functions: void push, void pop, and third one is void traverse. I'm creating the template of this program, and the main this one, see, these are the function declarations and these are the function definitions, and function calls will be there in main function. Now I'm going to show you the menu driven program. So we'll display the menu to the user so that user can decide which operation he wants to perform. So see, I am taking one do while loop over here. So repeatedly user can perform the operation on the stack. Okay, so in this do while loop, see, I am displaying first the menus to the user. So this will be stack operation. So title will be there, and then on new line we'll display first menu to the user, that is push. So he can perform push operation by pressing 1. Then on new line he can there will be pop operation. Okay, so for performing pop operation he can press 2. Then third one is traverse operation. So if you want to perform the traverse, then he should press 3. And next one is exit. So suppose is not interested in any of the operation of stack, then he can simply press 4 option, and then last, or I will take the separate printf here for asking user to press the option. So enter your choice or option getting, and now he can press the choice. So to read that choice, I'm taking the scanf function. So scanf, and then I am using one integer local variable here, that is choice. So see what I'm doing, I'm asking, or I'm displaying these menus to the user, that is 1 is for push, 2 is for pop, 3 is for traverse, and 4 is for exit. Okay, so accordingly user can enter the choice. So I'm asking user to enter the choice, and that choice will be received in this choice variable. And now, as this is menu driven program, so I'm using the switch case for same. So we are comparing that the choice which is entered by user with the case constants. See what I'm doing, I am taking case 1, and if the user choice is 1, then we are executing push function, and immediately we are breaking this switch. Okay, will be outside this switch case. Then next, if user press 2, then we are executing the pop function. In the same way, if user entered 3, then we are executing the traverse function. If user entered the 4th, then we are exiting from the program. Now see, exit function is for exiting from the entire program, and break is for just exiting from the switch. Getting? So remember this. Now after this exit 0, break is not required, because anyhow you will be outside the program. So break is not required because it won't be executed. So whenever compiler say exit 0, it will be outside the program. Now this exit function is present in stdlib.h header file. So that you need to include here, stdlib.h. So exit function, it is present in stdlib.h. And there may be case that user is entering the option other than this 4 option. He can press the 5 option also. So in that case, you should inform him that you have entered the incorrect option. So for that purpose, I am using the default condition or default case. So please enter the correct choice. We are simply informing user that you have entered the option other than these 1 to 4 options, so please enter the correct option. Getting? So this is switch case. See what we have done. We have displayed the menus to the user. 1 is for push, 2 is for pop, 3 is for traverse, 4 is for exit, and based on his choice we are matching that choice with the case constant, against the case constant. If user entered the 1, then push operation, that means he is interested in push operation. If he entered 2, then that means he is interested in pop operation. If he entered 3, means he is interested in traverse. If he entered 4, that means he doesn't want to perform any of the operations, so simply exit the program. If he entered any other option other than this 4, then we are simply informing him that you have entered the incorrect choice, please enter the correct choice. That is the switch case. Okay, and now, so this process or this part will be continued. This part will be continued till, suppose I am entering ch is equal to 1. So see, this is do while. So this part will be directly executed. So first compiler will enter into do. Getting? So we are displaying these menus, and then we are asking user to enter the choice. Now after entering first choice, user, we need to ask whether you want to continue same operation. So that for that purpose, see, after switch case, I am asking user that do you want to continue these operations, do you want to continue these operations, and see, for yes I am asking user to enter the 1, or for no I am asking user to enter the 0. So you need to ask enter these two options, either 1 or 0. If he press 1, then you can continue the same operation. If he entered 0, then you can stop these operations, or you don't display these operations. Getting? So %d and ch. So see, if he entered 1, that means he is interested to perform a few more operations on stack. So if ch is equal to 1, again we are entering into this loop. So declare this ch here. If he entered any other option, that means 0 or something like that, that means this condition is won't be true, that means again do will not be executed, do part will not be executed. Getting? So simple logic. You can also use while, okay, while one or like that. Here first compiler will enter into do part. Getting? And if user want to continue the same operation, then he can press 1. If he entered any other option than this 1, then this condition won't be true, that means you will not go or enter into do again. Getting? That is the case. Now come back to this one. Now as we are going to implement stack using array, so we need to declare array. So I am giving name of this array as stack itself, and see here I am not directly specifying the size of stack. Instead I am using the macro concept. So hash define, and then see I am declaring the macro, and see here I am specifying its a size. So see, this is preprocessor command, it is also called as macro. So hash define, so hash define, it is a preprocessor directive, or it is a command. What it indicates, so whenever this size macro template will appear in the program, that will be replaced by this 5. So instead of directly specifying the 5 size over here, I am see I am using the macro. So during pre-processing, this size will be replaced by 5. But the use of this, that means suppose in your program there are thousand times, suppose you want to mention the 5. Getting? And suppose on next day, suppose you want to change the size of that stack, then just do one change over here. Suppose tomorrow you want the size of stack as 10. Getting? So instead of going to those 1000 places, just change one place, or just change the value of this size here. Getting? Automatically the preprocessor will do changes at 1000 places. That is the advantage of this macro. That's why I'm using this. Okay, and you know that the stack has only one end, that is top, so you need to declare that also. Okay, you know that we are creating the empty stack at first, so you know that top is equal to -1, that means that indicates the stack is empty, nothing is there, not a single element is present in your stack. So I am mentioning top equal to -1, I am initializing top with -1, that indicates stack is initially empty. So right now I am creating the stack with size 5, but not a single element is present in my stack. Okay, and that indicates by using this top. So this declaration should be at global level. Getting? Because we are going to use them in push, pop and traverse functions. Now go to push. Now suppose right now stack is empty, nothing is there in my stack. Now I want to perform the push operation. Can I perform push operation? Definitely, because stack is empty, so I can perform push operation. But if stack is empty, are you able to perform pop operation? No, because nothing is there for deleting. Okay, so you need to consider this situation. So while performing push operation, no need to check whether stack is empty or not. Only you need to check whether stack is full, because if stack is full, you can't perform push operation. Okay, and in pop operation, if you want to perform pop operation, is it necessary to check whether stack is full or not? No, it is not necessary. Only you need to check whether stack is empty or not, because if stack is empty, you can't perform pop operation. So see, what is the condition for stack full? Yes, whenever top is reaches to, top will be size -1. Getting? So consider, suppose this is my stack of size 5. So this is my stack, the size of this stack is 5. So as we are implementing this with array. Getting? So you know that array index starts with 0 and it ends at size -1. So I have given the name to this array as stack. Getting? So initially the top is here, your top is here. Getting? That is at -1. top is at -1. Definitely -1 index is not part of your stack. Getting that is not part of your stack. So right now top is -1. That means stack is empty. Nothing is there in your stack. So top equal to -1. This condition is for empty, stack empty. So whenever top equal to -1, that means stack is empty and we can't perform the pop operation. Get it? So stack is empty. Stack is empty, so we can't perform the pop operation in that case. Otherwise, we can do that. But for performing or while performing push operation, is it necessary to check whether stack is empty or not? No, it is not necessary. Then what you need to check? You need to check whether stack is full or not, because if stack is full, you can't perform push operation. So what is the condition for stack full? Top equal to size -1. So whenever your top will be 4, in this case, whenever your top will be 4, that means top is pointing to the top. Top is pointing to the topmost element of your stack. Getting? Now that means after that, getting, there is no space remaining in your stack. That means we can't insert new element in that stack. So top equal to size -1. That is the condition for stack full. Stack is full. That means we can't perform the push operation anymore. Okay, so we'll perform first push operation and then we'll go for pop. So right now stack is empty. So now just observe this stack where your top is pointing right now, or what is the current value of top? It is -1. Whether -1 is part of your stack? No. See, your stack size is 5 and you are implementing stack using array. So this array has 0 to 4 indices. -1 is not part of this particular array. So where the first element will be inserted? Now what is stack? Stack is a LIFO type of data structure. LIFO means last in first out. So right now 0, that is the first element. You need to insert your first element at 0th index. Then second or next element will be inserted or pushed at 1 index, like that, and so on. So to insert the new or the first element in this particular stack, your top should be at 0. It is right now not at 0, it is at -1. So what you need to do to get the top at 0, you need to increment top. You need to increment top by 1. Getting? So because of this top plus plus, what will be done? Your top will be at 0. Your top will be at 0. Your top will be at 0. And now you can insert the element. So read that element first from the user. User to enter the element. Enter element for pushing. Asking that element from the user. Just declare that element. Okay. And where this element will be inserted? See, what is the name of this particular array? Stack. And what is the index? 0. So because your top is right now, it is 0. So stack of 0, you need to insert the element. So suppose the first element entered by user is 10. So you need to insert this 10 at 0 index. That means at stack of 0. Okay. So array name is stack, and by using top, you should insert that element. Getting? But you know that stack is a non-primitive data structure in which insertion and deletion operations of element, okay, can be done from only one end. And what is that end? Top end. So there should be top. Getting? Stack of top. So right now top is 0. So stack of 0 equal to 10. So 10 will be stored. So this is what your push operation, nothing else. So whenever user will press 1, this code will be executed and this works fine. Getting? But whenever top reaches to size -1, whenever top reaches to 4, getting, then that means your stack is full. Now your push operation. That means you can't insert new element in your stack. So that is push operation. Now go to pop operation. Now consider we have inserted a few more elements in my stack. Suppose I have inserted 20, one more element. Then can you tell me what will be top value? Top will be at 1. Top will be at 1. Top will be here. Now suppose I want to insert one more element. So what you need to do first? First you need to increment top by 1. Getting? So top will be 2, and then you can insert next element. Now suppose I want to insert one more element, then increment top by 1. That means else part will be executed. Increment top by 1 and insert next element. Now suppose I want to insert one more element. Can I insert? Yes, because top is right now 3. It is not equal to size minus 1, so I can insert. So again else part will be executed. So increment top by 1 and insert new element. Insert new element. Now check. Can I insert one more element in my stack? No, because top is already 4. That means top is equal to size minus 1. What is the size of stack? 5. So 5 minus 1, that is 4. So top is equal to size minus 1. So else part will not be executed. Getting? Else part will not be executed. If part will be executed, and this message will be printed on output screen, that is stack is full. That means we can't insert new element. So right now this is the status of your stack. This is the status of your stack. Now can we perform pop operation? Definitely yes. Can we perform pop operation? Definitely yes, because top is not equal to minus 1. It is right now 4. So go to else part. Okay, now can you tell me which element will be deleted from this stack? Yes, 50. Yes, definitely 50, because 50 is recently added in your stack. So what is the property of stack? LIFO, last in first out. The element which is added last, that will be come out first, or the element which is added last, that will be deleted first. So 50 was added last, so 50 will be deleted first, because top is also pointing to 50. That's why 50 will be deleted. So again here in pop operation also you should make use of top. Okay, so I'm deleting popped element is %d. I am simply printing that. So which element will be deleted? Stack of pop. Okay, so sorry, stack of top. Stack of top. So just check what is stack of top right now? 50. So this 50 will be deleted. 50 will be deleted. And now next time if user want to delete one more element, then which element should be deleted? 40. But whether your top is pointing to 40? No. So to point that top to 40, you should decrement top by 1. Decrement top by 1. So see the difference. In case of push, first we are incrementing the top and then we are inserting the element. In case of deleting, first we are deleting the element and we are decrementing the top. So here after deleting element, you should decrement top by 1. You should decrement top by 1. Okay, so see right now top is pointing to 40. Now suppose user entered again 2 operation, that means he is interested in pop operation one more time. So see whether if part will be executed? No. Getting? So will compiler will go to else. Popped element is % stack of top. So this 40 will be popped, 40 will be popped, and then you need to decrement top by 1. 40 will be popped, that is 40 will be deleted, and your top will be decremented by 1, and so on. Now whenever your top will be reaches to -1, that means all the elements of your stack are deleted. So we can't perform delete operation anymore. Getting? That means stack is empty. So that condition is already added. So these are the push and pop operation. Now we'll see traverse operation. Okay, so go to traverse. Now just tell me, if your stack is full, are you able to perform traverse operation? Definitely yes. So no need to check whether stack is full or not. Getting? Now just tell me whether stack is empty. Are you able to perform traverse operation? No, because nothing is there in my stack. Then how we can perform the traverse operation. So here I am again mentioning the stack empty condition. So what is the condition for stack empty? Top equal to -1. So whenever stack is empty, we can't perform traverse operations. Stack is empty. Otherwise we can perform. So just consider your stack has 5 elements. Stack has 5 elements. In inserting 5 elements. So my top is here. Consider these are the elements. Consider stack is full right now. Okay, top equal to 4. That is top equal to size -1. Now this is the thing. Okay, now how to perform traverse operation. So how you need to display the element? So 10 should be at bottom side and 50 should be at top side. Okay, so see what I am doing. I am using loop here because there may be number of elements in your stack. So I am using for loop over here. Okay, and see I am starting from top. Getting, so the on top side you should see your top is right now pointing to 50. So I'm starting with this 50. I'm starting with 50. So I equal to top. Getting, that is I equal to 4 right now. And when you are going to stop this traverse operation, see first I'm going to print 50, then I'm going to print 40 below 50, then 30 below 40, then 20 below 30, and then 10 below 20. Okay, so because you should use this top end, so from stop I am starting that. Okay, so whenever I will reach to I greater than equal to 0, getting, whenever this condition is true or till this condition is true, there is no any problem with traverse operation. Getting, but whenever this condition false, that means you need to stop. You need to stop. Okay, so we are going to simply print those values, and on new line I will print those values, and instead of top here I'm using I, because you should not change the top value. You should not change the top end. Getting, because top end should be changed at the time of push and pop only. In traverse we are simply displaying the content of stack, so you should not change the top end. So instead we have taken I variable and we have assigned the top value to that I, and we are decrementing I every time. Getting, so see execution of this. For I equal to top, what is the current value of, see this will be I variable. What is the current value of top? 4, so that will be assigned to I. Now check the condition, I greater than equal to 0, so 4 greater than equal to 0, condition is true, so enter into for loop and print percentage stack of I, so stack of 4. So what is stack of 4? What is stack of 4? 50, so print that. Now cursor will be on new line. Now decrement I by 1, so what will be new value of I? 3. See, we are not changing the top value, so 3. Now check the condition, 3 greater than equal to 0, 3 greater than equal to 0. Getting, 3 greater than equal to 0, so condition is true, so print value which is at 3, so 40. Then decrement I by 1, decrement I by 1, so I will be 2. Getting, then print value which is present at 2 index, so that is 30. Then decrement I by 1, decrement I by 1, so I will be 1, and the print that value which is present at 1 index, so 20. Then decrement I by 1, so I will be 0, 0, so print value which is present at 10. And then decrement I by 1, so I becomes -1. Now just check the condition. -1 greater than equal to 0. So condition is false. That means nothing is there in your stack. That means you have traversed all the elements of stack. That's all. 50, 40, 30, 20 and 10 you have printed. Getting? So let us see the execution of this. So first compile this. Is there any error in this? So see, there is no any error, there is no any warning. Now let us see the output. Just I'm doing the formatting of this /n. Compile one more time because I have made the changes. Okay, and now run this. So see, this output user will get at first, and if I am trying to perform the pop, see, I'm getting this message, stack is empty. Do you want to continue? Yes, there is one error. Let us check that. Oh, sorry. Instead of print, there should be scanf. Sorry for that. Okay, compile one more time and run that. Yes. Now check. If I use 2, then what should be message? Stack is empty. Can I continue? Yes. Okay, again it is showing me those options. Can I perform 3, that is traverse? Again no, because stack is empty. Can I perform push? Yes. So see, it is asking me to enter the element. Can I continue? Yes. See, I will add 5 elements, then I will add 5 elements, then we'll display those elements, and then we'll perform pop operation. Sorry. Enter 10, 20, 30, 40, next element. See, I have entered total 5 elements, and now check the traverse. So see, I'm getting 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now can I insert one more element? See, if I use one more push operation, that is option for push operation, it is showing me that option, that is stack is full, you can't insert. Getting? You can't insert. Can I perform pop operation? Definitely yes. So see, which element will be popped? 50, because it is on top. Getting? So if I perform one more time pop, see, 40 will be deleted. Now can I insert elements now? Yes, because I have deleted 2 elements, so only 3 elements are there. So my top is right now 2, so I can perform push operation. See, I'm again inserting 40, and now check the status. See, right now only 4 elements are present. Now insert one more element, that is 50. Now check the status. See, now stack has 5 elements. Now check one more time. No, I can't do because stack is full. Okay, so now perform push operation. So see, popped element is 50. Okay, next delete 40, next 30 is deleted, next 20 is deleted, 10 is deleted. Can I perform pop now? All the elements are deleted. No, stack is empty. Can I perform traverse operation? No, because stack is empty. Okay, so if stack is empty, you can't perform pop operation, you can't perform traverse operation, you can perform push operation. If stack is full, can you perform push operation? No. Can you perform traverse and pop operation? Yes. Getting? So that is demonstrated, and suppose now I have done with my operation, that means I'm not interested to continue. 0. That's all. This is what the stack using array program. Getting? So if you like my video demonstration, then please like, comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Programming in My Way.